Welcome! In this tutorial, I will walk you through the Carbon Market Levies Simulator, a practical beta tool developed to support national governments in designing and assessing fees and levies within their carbon market frameworks. As countries establish carbon market regulations and consider participation in international carbon markets, governments are increasingly faced with important policy decisions regarding how carbon market activities should contribute to public revenues and national priorities. The Carbon Market Levies Simulator allows policymakers to test different fee levels and policy options and understand their financial implications. The tool helps governments explore how different types of fees and levies, such as administrative fees, per-credit fees, revenue-based levies, and in-kind deductions, could affect public revenues from carbon market activities. At the same time, it provides an indication of how these measures may affect project profitability and incentives for project developers. The simulator works as a scenario-based model. Users enter project and policy assumptions and can immediately see how different policy choices influence government revenues and other key indicators. The tool was developed by Climate Focus, technical partner of the West African Alliance on Carbon Markets and Climate Finance, in consultation with Alliance focal points and with support from the Internationale Klimaschutzinitiative, or IKI, and funded by the German Federal Ministry for the Environment, Climate Action, Nature Conservation, and Nuclear Safety. Before using the tool, we recommend reviewing both the User Guide and Definitions tabs. The User Guide explains the purpose of each sheet and how the tool should be used. Instructions and definitions are provided in both English and French. Please note that the cells in orange represent inputs that can be adjusted by the user, while cells in gray contain formulas and should not be edited. Additionally, text with clarification is provided in blue. The tool consists of 2 main tabs and 3 optional tabs, along with a dashboard to show the results. The input sheet is where project and policy assumptions are entered. The fees and levies calculation sheet is where government fees and levies are configured. The government dashboard summarizes the results. Optional sheets include the Government Operational Costs sheet, which estimates the costs of administering carbon market activities, and the Opportunity Costs and NDC contribution sheets, which provide additional optional assessments to support policy discussions and decision-making. The Definitions tab provides explanations of key carbon market concepts used throughout the workbook in both English and French. The Government Dashboard is the primary output of the simulator. It consolidates all calculations into a single summary view for policymakers. The dashboard first presents gross project revenues from both authorized and non-authorized credits. The dashboard then summarizes government revenues generated from administrative fees, authorized credit fees, non-authorized credit fees, and revenue-based levies. Results are displayed in both US dollars and local currency. The dashboard also shows the number of credits withheld or canceled through the share of proceeds, OMGE, and host country withholding mechanisms. The input sheet is the main entry point of the tool. A support guide is available in all sheets in both English and French, and the user should consult the support guide to ensure that the tool works as intended. As previously mentioned, orange cells require user inputs, while gray cells are calculated automatically and should not be edited. Inputs should be completed from top to bottom. Please note that if any input is changed later, users should review input cells again from the top to the bottom to ensure all dependent values remain correct. Start with Section A. First, select the country. The current version includes preset configurations for Ghana, Kenya, Malaysia, and Zimbabwe. To create a custom scenario, select Test Country. Next, enter the project information, including project type, expected credit volume, project duration, and start year. The tool automatically calculates annual issuance volumes and other project indicators. Next, enter carbon price assumptions. The tool distinguishes between non-authorized credit prices and authorized credit prices, sometimes referred to as ITMO prices. These assumptions have a significant impact on both project revenues and government income. In Section B, users enter information related to the country's NDC. This includes the target year of the current NDC and the number of approved crediting years falling within that NDC period. The tool then estimates the volume of credits generated during the current NDC cycle. Section C allows users to apply a share of proceeds and overall mitigation in global emissions deduction. These mechanisms reduce the number of tradable credits and can significantly influence project revenues. In Section D, users can then specify how many credits will be authorized. This can be entered either as a percentage of total credits or as a fixed amount. The tool automatically calculates both authorized and non-authorized credit volumes. Some countries may choose to withhold a percentage of authorized credits for national purposes. Section E allows users to simulate such withholding mechanisms and assess their impact. The tool also allows users to simulate benefit sharing arrangements. In Section F, contributions to community projects can be entered either as a fixed amount or as a percentage of government revenues. Users may also include the administrative costs associated with managing those funds. Finally, in Section G, users enter the exchange rate between local currency and the US dollar. This enables the dashboard to present results in both currencies. In the fees and levies calculation sheet, users configure the fee structure applied to carbon market activities. For preset countries, regulatory data is automatically loaded into the workbook. To use preset regulatory data, please ensure that the government fee source selection reads preset data. For test country scenarios, users can create a fully customized fee structure. To model test country scenarios, please ensure that the government fee source selection reads user input. It's also possible to design customized scenarios for countries with existing regulatory data. To edit the regulatory data, switch from preset data to user input using the drop-down button under Select Government Fee Source. The Administrative Fees section contains administrative fees charged by governments for processing applications, approvals, registrations, authorizations, and other administrative functions. The User Input function includes an additional optional column for naming custom fees, and column C with the name of the fees associated with the selection may read as custom fee in some rows. Please note that it is not compulsory to fill out all of the custom fee rows. The user input feature also facilitates using local currencies. Please ensure that the conversion rate input is correctly defined in the Inputs tab before using the local currency feature. In this section, fees apply only to non-authorized credits and may include listing fees, registration renewals, or other project-related charges. This section captures fees that apply specifically to authorized credits, including corresponding adjustment fees or authorization-related charges. Governments may also apply taxes or levies on total project revenues. These can be tested and adjusted within this section. The Government Operational Costs sheet is optional and provides users with an opportunity to estimate the costs associated with administering and regulating carbon market activities. Examples may include staffing, registry administration, transaction review processes, and monitoring activities. These estimates can help governments understand whether projected revenues are sufficient to support carbon market operations. Filling out the Opportunity Costs sheet is optional, and it provides an indication of potential revenue trade-offs. Users can explore how different authorization decisions, carbon prices, or market conditions may influence future revenues and financial outcomes. In the NDC contribution sheet, this optional sheet helps users understand how authorized and non-authorized credits relate to national and sectoral NDC targets. It provides an indication of the relationship between carbon market activities and national mitigation objectives. In summary, the Carbon Market Levies Simulator allows governments to test different fee and levy structures, assess government revenues, understand policy trade-offs, and explore the implication of authorization and benefit-sharing decisions. The tool is intended as a practical decision support instrument and does not replace official legal or regulatory guidance. Thank you very much for your attention, and we hope you enjoyed this tutorial.